everyone, welcome back to Actual Talk. My name is Jennifer Clyde. It is time for lesson 62 and today's topic is cat person versus dog person. So what exactly is a cat person? What is a dog person? Not a person that is like a cat or a dog, but as we say, maybe that someone is a people person or an animal person. It means that you like cats or dogs. So, are you a cat person or a dog person? I would say that I am an animal person, which means that I really love animals. But if I had to choose between dogs and cats, I would say I like dogs a little bit more than cats. So I would be a dog person, a person that likes dogs. If you like cats in particular, you could call yourself a cat person. Okay, so I hope you understand what today's topic is. Then let's get started. Here is our first segment, Actual Talk.
Hey Peter.
Yeah?
Are you a cat person or a dog person?
To be totally honest, I'd say I'm a people person. I'm not really that into my cats or dogs. I've never had one as a child or anything like that.
Okay.
So I'd say both or neither.
You're pretty ambivalent.
Absolutely, 100%. You know, they're nice to look at and stuff, but I don't want one. I'm not that passionate, right?
Yeah.
But how about yourself? If you were forced to choose cat or dog?
If I had to choose one, I would say I'm more of a dog person.
Okay, if your life depended on it.
If my life depended on it, yes. I think generally dogs seem a lot friendlier than cats.
Sure.
Yeah, I think the stereotype is that cats seem to be more independent and they like to do their own thing, while dogs are very... they like company, they want to be with people.
Seekers, right?
Exactly. And I really like that because I feel loved, I guess, when
Sure.
a puppy comes to me and starts licking me and things like
you feel
that.
needed, right?
Exactly.
But I think people who are passionate about it, who are cat owners or dog owners, is really polarized, right?
Yeah.
And I think that kind of links into their personalities, you know, what they prefer. Because some people like a pet that can take care of itself like a cat,
Right.
but other people like you, perhaps they need that dependency, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, and like you said, some people can be very extreme about their dogs or their cats. It's sometimes one or the other.
Sure.
Yeah, I've met some pretty crazy people that really adore their cat or their dog, and it's kind of their main priority in life.
Sure, like they can't go on holiday or they can't go out for dinner. It's almost like they have a baby, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, they get carried away. But, you know, there's that stereotypical image of like a cat lady.
Right,
like
the
an
crazy
old woman
cat lady.
with hundreds of cats in her house. But I think they do exist. Those
They
people,
do.
Right?
Yeah, I actually just saw this lady who has 700 cats.
700?
Yes, but what happens is she opened up a rescue shelter.
Wow.
So for cats that are abandoned and cats where owners don't really want them anymore, they all go there, and she just takes them all in because she has lots of compassion for them.
Definitely a cat lady.
Definitely a cat lady.
Okay, welcome back everyone. Did you enjoy today's Actual Talk conversation between Peter and Rachel? Now, of course, they were talking about being a dog person or a cat person. What did Peter say? Well, he said that he was more of a people person. He's neither a dog person or a cat person, so that means that he doesn't really like animals, or he's not really into cats or dogs. But what about Rachel? She said that if she had to choose one between the two, she could call herself a dog person. So it means that she likes dogs better than cats. Okay, let's take a look at the conversation line by line. Now, first of all, Rachel begins by saying, "Hey, Peter, are you a cat person or a dog person?" Remember one more time, it's not a person that is like a cat or a dog, but it means that you are a type of person that likes dogs. Or if you are a cat person, it means you like cats in general. So what did Peter say? He said to be totally honest, to be honest with you, to be frank. Frankly speaking, it all mean the same thing. To be totally honest, I'd say I'm a people person, which means he is the type of person that likes people. So if you are a people person, what kind of person would you be? People or a people person would really enjoy getting together with a whole crowd of people. If you like to go to gatherings and meet new people, go to parties, for example, then you could call yourself a people person. You like to mingle with people and meet new people, you could call yourself a people person. So he says, I'm not really that into cats or dogs. Now we took a look at be into something, right? But it's negative. He is not really into cats or dogs. But that is used here especially to stress the fact that he is not a dog person or a cat. He's not really interested in cats or dogs. Okay, be into something. We'll take a look at that later on. So he says, I'm not really that into dogs or cats or dogs. Now, I've never had one as a child. One here would mean a pet, a dog or a cat. So he says, so I would say neither or neither. This word is pronounced two ways. Neither, neither, okay? Especially if you were talking about something negative. A nor B, okay? You would say neither. So he says, so I'd say neither. Now Rachel says, so you're pretty ambivalent. Ambivalent. That's today's vocab word, but ambivalent means that you are unable to choose between two things. You may have positive thoughts about something and also negative thoughts about something as well. So if you are uncertain, if you are unable to decide, you can say that you are ambivalent, all right? Okay. Now Peter says absolutely, which means yes, of course, 100%. So he stresses the fact that he is ambivalent, okay? He's neither. He is ambivalent. They are nice to look at. They, once again, we're talking about pets in general, dogs and cats. They're nice to look at, but I don't want one, okay? So he doesn't want to have a pet. And then he asks, but how about yourself? So what did Rachel say? Wow, that's long. Let's check it out. She says, I would say I'm more of a dog person. I'm closer to being a dog person, okay? Generally, dogs seem a lot friendlier. It's not more friendly, it is friendlier. So she's saying generally, in general, I think dogs are friendlier than cats, of course. I think the stereotype is that cats seem to be what? More independent. Okay, and they like to do their own thing, okay? They like to do their own thing. Let's take a look at this. Okay, stereotype is what? A stereotype is like a given thought, a thought that people basically share, or it's an idea that people generally think a person or a thing has. So mostly people think that the stereotype is that cats seem to be more independent. If you are independent, you are not dependent, which means they can do things on their own. They don't really need people around them or friends, for example. They're okay on their own and they like to do their own thing, meaning they like to do things by themselves on their own, while dogs want to be with people. Okay, they want to be with people, meaning they need someone to hold them, to cuddle with. So they are friendlier, perhaps, friendlier than cats. Now, Peter says they're attention seekers. We'll take a look at that word later on as well, but attention seeker. Well, you can say that an animal is an attention seeker, or a person can also be an attention seeker. Now, to seek for something means to look for something, right? So if you are an attention seeker, it means that you're constantly looking for attention. In some cases, you may act a certain way, okay, in order to feel loved or in order to get people's attention. If you do things just for that, you can call yourself an attention seeker, okay? Now, Rachel says, and I really like that. She likes that, okay? Dogs are attention seekers. They like to be with people because I feel loved when a puppy comes to me, okay, and starts licking me. Yeah, puppies, dogs, they lick you. I think cats lick too, but of course, she's talking about dogs or puppies in general, why she likes them more than cats. Now, Peter says, you feel needed. Now here, you feel loved, and down here, you feel needed. We'll practice that pattern later on. It's really polarized, okay, polarized. If you see that something is polarized, you're saying that it is the opposite. There are opposite thoughts or opinions about something. It can be negative, it can be positive, very different thoughts or opinions about something. Some people like a pet that can take care of itself. Now, this sounds like what? A dog or a cat? A pet that can take care of itself would be independent. So he's saying perhaps a cat. Some people like cats, but other people, like you perhaps, need that dependency. The opposite of independent. So perhaps dogs. Okay, moving on. She says, yeah, exactly. Some people can be very extreme, okay? Extreme about their dogs or their cats. If you're extreme about something, you may really love something or really hate something or really be into something, be crazy about. So some people are crazy about their dogs or their cats. They would do anything for them, okay? It's sometimes one or the other. One or the other. It's either A or B. It's very extreme, very different. And then she talks about her experience. She says, I've met some pretty crazy people that really adore, okay? Adore their cat or their dog, and it's kind of their main priority in life. What is a priority? Number one, the most important thing to you in life. So if a pet is your main priority in life, it means that you give so much to your pet. It's number one to you. It's the most important thing in your life. So she's saying that some people can be very extreme about their dogs, crazy about their dogs. They would do anything for their dogs or their cats or perhaps any other kind of pet. All right? Okay, let's take a look at some more. Now, Peter says they can't go on holiday or they can't go out for dinner. Now here, let's take a look at the beginning. They can't go on holiday. We often say to go on vacation, okay? Also, to go on holiday, I think it's closer to British English, but to go on holiday means the same thing as to go on vacation. To go for a trip or to go on a trip. Sometimes there is an S added at the end, okay? So keep that in mind. So now, if people have pets, dogs or cats or any other kind of pet, they can't go on holiday or they can't go out for dinner. It's almost like they have a baby. It's almost like having a baby at home. I think it's true. When you have a pet, especially a dog at home, you need to be there for them almost all the time. So it's not easy to raise a pet, okay? Now, they get carried away. Some people get carried away. Now, if you are too excited about something, okay? If you go overboard, you can say you get carried away. But, he says, you know, there is that stereotypical image of a cat lady. What is a cat lady? Let's find out. An old woman with hundreds of cats in her house, but I think they do exist. They here would be a cat lady or cat ladies. And Rachel says they do, meaning they do exist. I actually saw this lady who has 700 cats. Okay, she's talking about someone with many, many cats. Moving on. What happened is that she opened up a rescue shelter or an animal shelter. A shelter is like a protection place, a place where you would keep animals, like an animal shelter or a rescue shelter would be a place you would take dogs or cats or any animals that have been rescued to keep them safe, right? For abandoned. Abandoned is what? If you throw something away, if you give something up or give away, you are abandoning it. So these shelters are for abandoned cats whose owners don't want them anymore. Okay, they all go there. They're meaning to the shelter, and she takes them all in, meaning accepts them, because she has a lot of compassion for them. These people are lovely people. So yeah, I think it's a warm story towards the end that there are people out there that really, really care for animals, especially providing a safe place for abandoned cats and dogs or all sorts of animals. Anyhow, that is all for today's Actual Talk. Take a listen to it one more time.
Hey, Peter.
Yeah.
Are you a cat person or a dog person?
To be totally honest, I'd say I'm a people person. I'm not really that into by cats or dogs. I've never had one as a child or anything like that.
Okay.
So I'd say both or neither.
You're pretty ambivalent.
Absolutely, 100%. You know, they're nice to look at and stuff, but I don't want one. I'm not that passionate, right?
Yeah.
But how about yourself? If you were forced to choose cat or dog?
If I had to choose one, I would say I'm more of a dog person.
Okay, if your life depended on it.
If my life depended on it, yes. I think generally dogs seem a lot friendlier than cats.
Sure.
Yeah, I think the stereotype is that cats seem to be more independent and they like to do their own thing, while dogs are very... they like company. They want to be with people.
Seekers, right?
Exactly. And I really like that because I feel loved, I guess, when
Sure.
a puppy comes to me and starts licking me and things like that.
You feel needed, right?
Exactly.
But I think people who are passionate about it, who are cat owners or dog owners, is really polarized, right?
Yeah.
And I think that kind of links into their personalities, you know, what they prefer. Because some people like a pet that can take care of itself like a cat, but other people like you, perhaps they need that dependency, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, and like you said, some people can be very extreme about their dogs or their cats. It's sometimes one or the other.
Sure.
Yeah, I've met some pretty crazy people that really adore their cat or their dog, and it's kind of their main priority in life.
Sure, like they can't go on holiday or they can't go out for dinner. It's almost like they have a baby, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, they get carried away. But, you know, there's that stereotypical image of like a cat lady.
Right,
like
the crazy
an old
cat
woman
lady.
with hundreds of cats in her house. But I think they do exist. Those
They
people,
do.
Right?
Yeah, I actually just saw this lady who has 700 cats.
700?
Yes. But what happens is she opened up a rescue shelter.
Wow.
So for cats that are abandoned and cats where owners don't really want them anymore, they all go there, and she just takes them all in because she has lots of compassion for them.
Definitely a cat lady.
Definitely a cat lady.
Now, was the Actual Talk conversation a bit easier to understand? I really hope so. Okay then, before we take a look at some patterns for today, we've got some vocab words for us to take a look at really quickly. Now, there was the word ambivalent. Ambivalent. Notice that the stress goes right here on the second syllable, and some synonyms are doubtful, uncertain, hesitant, or unsure. Now, if you say that somebody is ambivalent, as I mentioned, you're talking about a person who is very doubtful about something, who has difficulty choosing between A and B, or a person that may have very different thoughts or opinions about certain things, okay? You may have very positive thoughts about something, but yet very negative thoughts about the same thing as well. So you're uncertain, you can't decide. Now, that would mean to be ambivalent. Also, attention seekers. That's right, we were talking about dogs being attention seekers. An attention seeker could be a person that is always, constantly looking for attention, that constantly wants attention from others, okay? What about this? Polarize. Polarize, stress goes on the first syllable, and some synonyms are converse, opposite. So we're talking about extreme, opposite thoughts about something. It's used a lot in politics, actually, okay? Also, extreme means intense, severe. We're talking about extreme differences in thoughts and opinions about pets, which means you could have very different thoughts about something. And also, to abandon, that is a verb as well. That means to desert, okay, or to give up. This dessert right here, as you see, there is one S, so it is not the type of dessert we have after a meal. It means to desert, throw away, to give up, give away. So a lot of people these days abandon their pets, meaning they just get rid of it, okay, which is very sad. All right, let's take a look at some patterns then. The first one, it's easy, but think of it as a review. We did go over this a long time ago. Now, to be into something means to be interested in something, to really like something. So if you like music, you can say, I am into music. If you don't like heavy metal, you can say, I'm not into heavy metal. Let's take a look at some sample sentences. All right, you can say, I'm extremely into furry animals. What are furry animals? Fur, F-U-R, fur coats, fur jackets, right? Fur is the hair that animals have. They have fur. Okay, animals don't have hair, but they have fur. So if you say furry animals, we're talking about animals that have fur, like dogs and cats or lions, okay? So if you like animals, furry animals, you can say, I'm extremely into furry animals. What about this? Let's try and use it in a negative way. I've never been into cats. You're talking about your past experience up till now, right? I've never been into cats, meaning I have never liked cats. I still don't like cats, and I've never liked cats in the past either. Okay, one more time. I've never been into cats. Good job. Our next pattern is feel and then verb ed when so-and-so. Okay, this could look a bit confusing, so here is a sample sentence. Remember, in the conversation, there was some part that I think Rachel said, you feel loved, and then Peter said, you feel needed, right? So, my cat feels how? Loved when? When I rub her tummy. Tummy is what? Tummy is another word for stomach. It's just a cute way of saying stomach. So my cat feels loved when I rub her tummy. Okay, let's check out another one. My cat purrs when she feels happy. You can just use a verb as well. My cat purrs. What is purr? Cats often make purring sounds. Gurudong, gurudong. They purr, purr. Okay, so cats purr. My cat purrs when she feels happy. Oops, here we go. Okay, so make that pattern in use as well. Now let's try this one. Hundreds of, thousands of, millions of something. Always keep in mind that you should add an S. So it's hundreds of, thousands of, and millions of something. Now, often you would use this when you want to stress the fact that there are many, many, many of something. I saw hundreds of cats and dogs at the animal shelter. You're stressing the fact that there were many, many of them, okay? 수백 마리, right? 수백 마리. So you should always add an S. Keep that in mind. I saw hundreds of cats and dogs at the animal shelter. Let's try out one more. Millions of pets are abandoned every year. One more time. Millions of pets are abandoned every year. Okay, so that about does it for today's pattern, everyone. That is all for today's actual expressions. Let's move on.
So yeah, am I a cat person or a dog person? I think it's an interesting question, like, because the stereotype about it is like cat person tend to be more introvert and dog person are more extrovert person. Like I said, I used to have cats and I really enjoy living with the cats. Like I think it's really nice when you are at home and relaxing to have the cats near you. But at the same time, my friends, neighbors had dogs, and it was also really fun, like to go out with them and walk the dog and run with the dogs. And I think actually I really like both animals. Like both of them have their pros and their cons. But right now, like when you live in a city, I think it's much easier to have a cat. So if I had to have a like pet in the future, If I'm in the countryside, maybe a dog for the outdoor activities, but otherwise in the city, definitively stick with a cat, I think.
Okay, we had a chance to listen to Jonas telling us about what he thinks about cats and dogs. So we asked him, are you a cat lover or a dog lover? Now we can say, are you a cat person or a dog person? Or even change it a bit and say, are you a cat lover or a dog lover? Or are you neither or neither? Now what did he say? He seems to be an animal person, meaning he likes animals in general, but he did mention if he lived in the city, he would definitely have a cat as a pet, and if he were to live in the countryside, he would choose to have a dog as a pet. Let's take a look at what he mentioned. Okay, first of all, it's wonderful how he started with this sentence. I think it is an interesting question. Okay, now if you are asked a question, especially in an interview, it's wonderful not maybe just to answer the question, but give it some thought and say, wow, that's a good question. That's an interesting question. All right, so wonderful start. And then he said, I used to have cats, as we heard, and I really enjoyed in the past living with the cats. I really like both animals. Okay, now he's getting to the point. He says they both have their pros and their cons, meaning plus and minus. There are good things about them and also bad things about them as well. Okay, let's take a look at one last sentence. He says, if I lived in the countryside, he's talking about the possibilities of living in the countryside. He says, maybe I'd have a dog. I would have a dog. But otherwise, if not, in the city, I'd definitely stick with a cat. Stick with something means to what? Choose something, not leave it. So stick with something means to decide to have a cat. So simply put, if he lived in the countryside, he would have a dog. But otherwise, in the city, he would have a cat as a pet. All right, wonderfully done.
So yeah, am I a cat person or a dog person? I think it's an interesting question, because the stereotype about it is like cat person tend to be more introvert and dog person are more extrovert person. Like I said, I used to have cats and I really enjoy living with the cats. Like I think it's really nice when you are at home and relaxing to have the cats near you. But at the same time, my friends, neighbors had dogs, and it was also really fun like to go out with them and walk the dog and run with the dogs. And I think actually I really like both animals. Like both of them have their pros and their cons. But right now, like when you live in a city, I think it's much easier to have a cat. So if I had to have a pet in the future, if I'm in the countryside, maybe a dog for the outdoor activities. But otherwise, in the city, definitively stick with a cat, I think.
Now, throughout the week, we're going to be talking about pets in general, whether it's dogs or cats or any other kind of pet you may have. Of course, some people choose to have birds or even fish, turtles at home, and hamsters maybe, hedgehogs. There's a whole list of pets that you can have at home. I think it's all about caring for them and responsibility. And it is a sad fact that a lot of these pets are being abandoned. But anyhow, let's stick with the topic. Okay, so today we talked about what? A dog person or a cat person? Think about that and have a conversation with the topic with someone you know, perhaps a partner or a family member. Next time I'll join you with this topic, taking care of pets. What can you talk about with this topic? You're going to have to join me next time. Come visit us at www.ebse.co.kr and look for Actual English. And that is a wrap for today. Thank you all for coming by to leave us some messages and the topics you have requested. I'll try my best to get to them. Okay, that is all for today. I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.